Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope the show finds you in good spirits. We got like 1 hour of stuff we got to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about. So get on in here. We got some things to talk about. Have mercy. Things have just gotten insane out here, y'all. And this all goes around the Diddy trial. Man, I called some things. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it right now. I called some things, guys. I called it ahead of time. I knew some stuff was going to happen, and it happened. I just want to make that abundantly clear. So we got a lot to talk about, and this is an absolute mess. The trial has already become an absolute mess. Let me just say that one more time. It's been an absolute mess, y'all. So get in here because we got some things we've got to talk about. Please do me a favor. Before we get into everything, hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button if you can. Hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. Of course, subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there too as well. Like I said, come on in. We got some things to talk about, y'all. Okay. So yes, hit that subscribe button here. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you're subscribed over there as well. Hit that notification bell on both platforms. Make sure it is set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it's random. Most importantly, really make sure you hit that notification bell, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out over the next couple days, over the next couple weeks. It's going to be a long trial, guys. I already feel it in my bones. I feel it all the way down in my plums. It's going to be a long one. So, yes, subscribe. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com, y'all. We got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys, we're not going to be here for a super long, epic show or anything like that. But there has been a lot of craziness that has happened revolving around the Diddler's case. Let me just be real. I don't see this being dismissed. I don't see this case suddenly shutting down because of the mucky muck that's going on in these trial and court streets right now, because it's been absolutely insane what's been transpiring in those four walls. In between those four walls, so much stuff going on. And they're having a lot of issues with jurors, potential jurors. I mean, there are potential jurors trying to get out, trying to leave. They're trying to jump ship before the trial even starts, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But one of the main things is for sure, today is day 4. They took yesterday off to take a little bit of a breather, collect themselves. And then today was supposed to be the day where they were supposed to take down 45 potential jurors and whittle that all the way down to 12 jurors for the jury and 6 alternates. And guess what happened? None of that happened. Let's let ABC talk that talk.
Will not be picked. There's some breaking news. A jury will not be picked today in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Court started this morning with 45 potential jurors. The lawyers had hoped to cut that down to the final 12 plus 6 alternates, but now that'll have to wait until Monday. Let's bring in investigative reporter Olivia Rubin for more. Olivia.
So let me just say this really quick. I'm going to repeat what she just said.
Some breaking news. A jury will not be picked today in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Court started this morning with 45 potential jurors. The lawyers had hoped to cut that down to the final 12 plus 6 alternates, but now that'll have to wait until Monday. Let's bring it.
Now they have to wait until Monday to choose who's going to be the 12 and who's going to be the 6 alternates for this jury. And I got to say it. I called it. And I'm a genius. Yes! I know. Stop complimenting me. Yes, I'm a genius. I know. I'm a genius. I knew this was going to happen. Why, you may ask? You really think that this thing that's been bumpy this entire time, that's been a sloppy mess, it's been a rocky road this entire time, you really think that they were going to have everything done by today? Man, it's not even end of day yet for them. And they're already sitting here saying, oh, no, we got to extend it again. Prosecution on Wednesday asked the court to extend to Friday, today, to make decisions on who they were going to use in the 12 jurors and the 6 alternates. And then guess what happened? We're Friday. We out here Friday. Okay? Because it's Friday and you ain't got ish to do. Well, apparently a lot of ish hit the fan because they haven't even made a decision on who the 12 are going to be. And now they're going to push it to Monday. Now, I hope to God they're going to have something figured out by Monday, but I'm telling you right now, you really think they're going to be done, have everything stitched up and put together by Monday? I don't know. I will say this, though, too. Maybe they will. They will have a few days to kind of come together, at least their own respective teams, okay? Team Diddy and Team Anti-Diddy, okay? They're going to have their own perspectives and they're going to have their own time to have conversations within themselves over the weekend. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of coffee and a lot of pizza. And they're going to be sitting around going, okay, I like juror 325. I don't like juror 127. That might be it. That might be what's going on. And then they reconvene on Monday and they nip this thing in the bud so they can actually have opening statements Tuesday. So they can swear the jury in on Tuesday, and then they can get the opening statements going on Tuesday. That's what I'm hoping for. But I didn't think that this extension would be like this. But there's a couple other reasons why I think that this extension is actually happening. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But please, guys, before we get into everything again, too, hit that like button down below, crush that subscribe button. We got things to do. We got conversations to have and many miles to go before we sleep. Let's listen to a little bit more of this video.
An investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin, for more. Olivia, we initially thought a jury would be seated Wednesday, then it was Friday. Now it's Monday. What's going on?
Yeah, really, Diane, this seems to stem from the concern that jurors could drop out here. Remember, as you said, they were going in today expecting to whittle down that pool of 45. But when court came to order, the judge revealed that they had already lost 2. One of the jurors, the potential jurors, the judge said, phoned in last night to say that she had concerns about serving. This is a woman who previously worked in the domestic violence unit at the Brooklyn DA's office. She was then struck because of those concerns. And then another juror.
We're going to pause right there. Now, you heard that. Jurors are scared for their lives, y'all. Jurors are scared for their lives. You want to know what's really interesting about this? Because this is working out in his favor in a way. In a way. Because here's the thing. One thing that could have been easily remedied. Think about this. One thing that they could have easily remedied this situation and made the jurors feel a little bit more comfortable is if they actually sequestered the jurors. The whole jury just being put away at a hotel room. And of course, we don't get to see them. We don't get to hear from them. You get to put them over in a hotel room. They're not seen or heard from at all. Yes, they may not be able to look at the TV or have any access to phones or internet at all for those 8 weeks, but they would be protected. And also, here's the other thing, too. These potential jurors, they are at least reading. Yeah, they're reading headlines, or they're listening to podcasts with Mark Garagos, or they're looking at YouTube and watching shows like mine. Hi, how you doing? Stop watching. Stop watching the show. If you're a potential juror, don't watch. Turn off right now. How dare you? Shame. Shame. Don't. Turn off. But on some real stuff, they have access to do whatever the hell they want. So what do you think? That a potential juror is going to go back home going, oh, that was good. You know what I mean? I got through the first round. I'm one of the 45. But then you really realize, oh, damn. Oh, I'm a part of one of the biggest, highest profile cases of this decade, at least. Oh, damn. And he's also a monster. He is a dangerous man. He's known, or at least alleged, to be a very dangerous man. He's got deep pockets, and he probably has his hands in people's pockets that are very dangerous individuals. Oh, no. If I get to go back home after every single day in court, somebody gonna find me. Somebody gonna follow me and threaten me to be that one person that says, oh, no, I think Diddy's a good guy. Sway my verdict. Hell no, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm good. I got the rest of my life to live. I don't want to lose it just because of this man. You really think that by not sequestering these jurors, they're not going to open up their phones and look? Do a little bit of research? Be a little curious about what's going on? I'm just saying. This is crazy. And I will say this too. Judge Subramanian, with all due respect, I don't know how to pronounce Subramanian. Okay? Judge Aaron, come on, man. You know this man could potentially have some sort of way to get in touch with these people and scare, coerce, harass, intimidate, and get what he wants. This is how he is. I get everything I want, I get. That is him, guys. That is Diddy. We've seen him do that. Like as a 12-year-old. Come on, y'all. Come on, let's use our brain matter for 2 seconds. Come on. This is not good. He's already tampering with the jury pool. And witnesses. Because where's victim number 3? Where's she at, though? Where's she at, though, man? Where's she at, though? She gone. Why? Because he scared the crap out of her. Or he scared the crap out of her while stuffing a $5 million check in her pocket at the same time. That's possible. You better now, I'm going to take your life, but here's $5 million, so you shut the hell up. You understand me, girl? That's possible. He could have done that. No. You spell my last name with an O-E-E-2-2. You know what I mean? That's how you spell my last name. There's a lot of vowels, but I'm so scared. Sign the check. I'm scared. That could possibly happen. They're messing up, man. And then prosecution, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry. Because we heard about this 6-pack of white women. I'm sorry. The 6-pack of white women. I didn't say that. One of his lawyers, Mark Garagos, a white man, said white women. A 6-pack of white women. Okay, let me just say something really quick. Ain't that in some sort of way manipulating the court of public opinion and potentially the jurors that are watching, listening, and all that as well? by him sitting there saying, oh, it's just a 6-pack of white women. You know what I mean? You don't think people are going, oh, yeah, okay, I see. They're just trying to take the black man down. You don't think that that's happening? As soon as we say white women, no diversity, except for that they're female, not no black people in that mug. So prosecution, hear me out. Because if you are watching, which, you know, I'd be flattered. Oh my gosh. Me? Oh. But still, I need you guys to hear this. Put a black person in there. Put in some diversity. Throw a little peppering in there. Okay? Doesn't even have to be black. It can be Asian, Indian, Mexican. It doesn't matter. Just not white. Because now it's been said. And you don't think that race is not going to play as a factor in here? Come on, guys. Race is definitely going to be played as a factor and as a point here in this particular trial. And prosecution is just a 6-pack of white women. That's not going to be good. Like I said, this is not being played out in court now. As soon as he got arrested, this was going to be played out in the court of public opinion. The streets of the court, not inside that courtroom. And then on top of it, if you are not sequestering your mother-loving jurors, that is a recipe for disaster. I wish everybody would understand that. And also, I don't understand why the judge, okay? I don't understand why he's not considering that. Now, I understand that can be subject to change, okay? But at the same time, come on, man. That should have been the first thing you did. Even with these potential jurors, lock them up. And then when you're done, if they get, released, then release those potential jurors. But to sequester those jurors, potential jurors, is absolutely crucial. That woman, that one juror, so far, 2 of them are bowing out because they don't want nothing to do with this because they're scared for their life. Because they know exactly what kind of person that they're dealing with. Damn. Then you also got to remember, which is also important to keep into put into consideration. Diddy now has a black female lawyer in his team. And I know a lot of people will be very shocked about that, but that's a good look for him. It's all a move, y'all. He's playing checkers. He's playing chess, not checkers. He's clearly doing this because he wants the people to see that even a black woman has his back. She also apparently is a survivor of SA as well. You don't think that's a good look for Diddy? But I do want to remind you, remember there was another lawyer, black male lawyer, that was on his team that bowed out. And I wonder why he bowed out. In my personal opinion, it's because he knew Diddy's did some really bad things and he didn't feel ethically right supporting and backing up this man. Let's continue on. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about. Okay, there's a lot going on. But as you can see, with prosecution, things are starting to dismantle and starting to fall apart. And that's not good, especially when everything's being played out in the court of public opinion, in the town square. Everyone's seeing it, even the potential jurors. Don't tell me they're not opening up their phones and looking at things and checking things out on TikTok and stuff. Real talk.
juror was struck, Diane, because the judge said that he failed to disclose an ongoing lawsuit he had against the city of New York, something that the judge said showed a lack of honesty on that juror's part. And really, that gave rise to these broader concerns that more jurors could drop out if they seated them today, and then they were given the entire weekend to sort of mull on it before openings on Monday. So really, the judge just did not want to give them that window. So now the jurors will come back, these potential jurors, on Monday. They will strike them down to that group of 12 with the alternates, go right into swearing them in, go right into instructions, and then right into openings where trial will kick off on Monday, Diane.
We will see how that all goes down. You got to remember, just this, they have the jurors, the potential jurors have the same amount of time off as prosecution and the defense. And it's not like they're sitting there going, oh yeah, you can have my phone. It's not like they're giving their phones away or being locked up in a hotel room with no TV and all they can do is sit there and read books all the live long day. No, we are not in the OJ times anymore. That's what happened with OJ's trial. You have this going on with people that have absolute easy access to the information superhighway in the palm of their hands. That could garner people to be like, I really don't think I should do this trial. I'm scared. Some others will try to lie their way into the trial. Why? One, because they want to sway the verdict in a certain way, maybe in favor of Diddy or not. But then there's others that are like, yo, this could be a really great book. You see what I'm saying? Titled, When I Said to Diddy, a memoir. That's them on the on the cover of the book. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is not good. This is no bueno. I can't believe that this is happening. I thought like by Friday, cool. You know what I mean? They're going to have their things figured out. But the fact that this is extended even further, sheesh.
TV developments in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. A judge suddenly decided to postpone the seating of a jury, which was supposed to happen today. That will now occur on Monday. We're also getting a preview of the strategy Combs' attorneys plan to use when opening statements do begin next week. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles live this afternoon outside federal court in Lower Manhattan. Darla?
Sandra, that was the plan today for prosecutors and defense attorneys to finalize the jury, but they lost two people before the process even started. The first was a 38-year-old woman from Putnam County who has emailed the court since Wednesday expressing concerns about serving on the case. The other one was a man from the Bronx who was disqualified for falsifying his jury questionnaire. Now, again, this process of selecting 12 jurors and 6 alternates for the trial, the sex trafficking and racketeering trial for the 55-year-old media mogul, the ones who will ultimately decide whether he spends the rest of his life in jail or if he's acquitted of these charges, has been an extremely tedious process. What will happen Monday morning is that the remaining pool of 43 qualified potential jurors will arrive to federal court at 8:30 a.m. Defense attorneys will strike 10 people, prosecutors will strike 6 people, and then they will go right into opening statements at 9:30 a.m. This is the thought behind this. The federal judge thinks that selecting the final jury right before court begins will prevent losing other jurors who have had the weekend to think about it if they were selected today.
You heard that, right? Like I just said a second ago. Okay. This is going to give jurors time to be like, nah, I don't want anything to do with this, y'all. I'm too scared by this. This is wild. These jurors have the right to make the decision on whether they want to be a part of this circus or not. Ain't that something? They're all like, nah, like that woman who sent out that email, she basically, her email, probably subject title was called, nah, I'm good. I'm just saying, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. Tina, thank you so much for being a member for the past 6 months. I really do appreciate your support. And just like Tina, please hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. Be greatly appreciated. But moving on. This is, like I said, messy. And the question is this a bad look on the prosecution or a bad look on defense? Now, they both are working on this, picking people. But the fact that it's already messy to begin with could very well be a foreshadowing of what could possibly come here in the very near future. Here's the other thing, too. He is a high profile person. Of course, there's going to be people in there that are possibly falsifying their paperwork because they know exactly who they're going into trial for to become a potential juror. There are people out here that are going to go out of their way to lie just so that they can be that one person in the jury pool that says, I believe him. He didn't do anything wrong. It takes one person, guys, one juror, to throw the whole thing off. You don't think that Diddy would do anything and everything in his power within his financial influence to see if he could change one person's mind or put a mole in there to throw things off? The things that his team has thrown out here, y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to do that exact thing. But let's continue on.
Now, the attorney for Cassie Ventura was in court today, and the parameters surrounding her testimony were discussed. Attorneys for Sean Combs plan to argue that their relationship was mutually violent and there was no coercion. But federal prosecutors do not want to allow any testimony about unrelated acts of domestic violence or physical abuse. Again, we also know that Cassie Ventura is in her third trimester, so discussing frequent breaks for her during her testimony this morning, that was discussed. She will testify for about 90 minutes and will be allowed a break. As for Combs, again, the big question is how he appears in court. Well, today he's wearing again navy sweater, white collared shirt.
It's so hilarious how people are like, so what was he wearing? You know what I mean? I'm wearing Hermes, Gucci, Versace. Who cares? I don't care. He wearing a sweater looking like Cosby up in this mother lover. I don't care. So it's just so hilarious to me how everyone's like, so what is he wearing today? What was he wearing? I'm just wondering. Was it matching? Was it all coordinated? It's like, no one cares. Can you imagine? Red carpet event type thing. He's walking into the trial. He's in straight up an orange jumpsuit. And they're like, oh my God, guys, we're here with the man, the myth, the legend, the man of the day, Diddy. Tell me, what are you wearing? I'm wearing an orange jumpsuit. Love it. It brings out your eyes. I love it. You know what I mean? Who cares? Who cares? A knit sweater we got on clearance on the clearance racket at JCPenney. Well, it looks like $1 million on you. Love it. Like, no one cares. No one cares. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, but still. Oh, God. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Okay, but still, no one cares about what he's wearing. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. He's wearing it. He's wearing civilian clothing. Cool. Looking like the black Mr. Rogers. All right. That's fine. But still, at the end of the day, what's very crazy, and I talked about this in another video, and I'd strongly urge you guys go and check it out. But I talked about the fact that they are basically admitting that Diddy did put his paws on Cassie, that there was DV in their relationship. But of course, he's trying to make it seem like his team is trying to make it seem like it was a mutual exchange of blows. First off, we don't have any proof of said mutual DV. All we see is one-sided. One person getting dragged, attacked in that scathing hotel video that we've all seen. You can't not see it. It went uber viral. And of course, he's got a lot of explaining to do. But the fact that we have never seen any proof of her swinging at him says a lot. And of course, they're saying that she wasn't running away in that video. She wasn't running away from a freak off. She was actually running away from a fight they were having because she caught him, I guess, texting a new girl. And she had a big problem with that as well. Now, again, I'm not surprised that they're trying to move the goalpost and trying to make it seem like, he's not a bad guy, that it was mutual and they were both toxic and they were both terrible. But it is kind of interesting that in the very beginning, it was, no, he didn't do that. It's a witch hunt. Then the video comes out. All right, well, she was asking for it. And no, she wasn't running away from the situation. She was running away from an argument they were having. This whole video was edited. Then today, yeah, he admits to putting his paws on her, and it was very vicious and terrible, but it was both of them. It was both a toxic relationship. First off, defense team needs to figure out what their motive and what their plan is, because it sounds like they're grasping at straws and making up anything they can to try to get this guy to look like a normal good guy. He's not a normal good guy, guys. They just keep changing the narrative because they're floundering in there. We've already heard about, but they were swingers. He can't be chastised for his spicy and zesty appetites. That's not what they were saying months ago when he first got arrested. So again, BS in my personal opinion. Absolute BS. But here's something very interesting. Okay? First off, let me just show this again. Please go check out that video. I just did that a little bit, okay? Yes, it is giving, right? It's giving graspy, okay? Like that yellow jumpsuit or that knitted sweater he got from the clearance rack from JCPenney. It's giving, makes you look like $1 million, right? But very interesting that they're trying to say that they're both monsters. Not just him, it's both of them. Well, we haven't seen any footage. Here's the other thing, too. The prosecution, the feds, the government is basically saying, okay. If you think that everything's been manipulated or heavily edited and all that. We got the full unedited video, CNN video. We have no problem submitting it. Also, we have 2 cell phone videos showing him putting his paws on Cassie. We can give that one too. We can hand over both of those for you. It's going to be bad, y'all. And again, you're going to have to see how Diddy and his team handles that BS. But they're sitting there going, "Oh no, it was a mutual thing. It's totally normal." No, it's not. Keep your hands to yourselves. Keep your hands to yourselves. But now we got some new information that allegedly there's another victim that might testify. Because at first we were wondering, and we still are wondering, where is that victim 3B? Where can she be? Where is she, right? Now we're all understanding that, I think she got paid off. I'm going to keep it real. I think she was like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to testify. I don't need to hide behind a Jane Doe name. Everyone shall know my name, and he will be embarrassed, and he will be buried under that prison. And then what? Few days before the trial, she's like, nope, I don't need to be there anymore. Yeah, no desire whatsoever. I'm good. And no, I never was cooperating with you guys. What are you smoking? Right? It's called she got paid. She got paid off. So now the feds are sitting here saying, oh, okay, so if we don't get victim number 3, we have victim number 5, though. And I'm sure the judge is sitting there going like, wait, victim number 5. Excuse me. Where's that in the paperwork? And they're like, no. She might. This one might testify. Right? And this is going to be interesting because, again, Diddy, I'm sure, was surprised, I'm sure. And I also will say this. Victim number 3 may just show up out of nowhere because she might be like, that check didn't clear, mother lover, as she's walking in to testify. She might just do it out of nowhere. Victim 3 might just be like, hey, nah, I feel good. I feel strong. I need to talk. Possible. It's possible. But now they're saying they got another one. Victim number 5 coming out to testify. And they might just do that. The list of alleged Diddy victims involved in his STing trial is expanding now because we've learned the feds also have a witness they're calling victim number 5. Like I said, I have a feeling they have more than just a victim number 5. I have a feeling they have a lot of cards in their back pocket and they're going, well, if she doesn't show up, we have this one. If they don't show up, we got this one. You know what I mean? So again, this is going to be very interesting that victim number 5 is now being called up. Come on down, victim number 5, right? So this is going to be interesting. Prosecutors buried the existence of a 5th alleged victim in legal documents last month, but victim number 5 just came up in court Friday as Diddy trial proceeds. Wow. That's crazy. So now this person's identity is still unknown, but that could soon change because the judge, I'm sorry, ruled Friday victim number 5 will not be granted anonymity in the trial. I've been hitting this button a lot, but I'm sorry. These are big deals. Yeah. So this might be Aubrey. I mean, I'm sorry. This could be Aubrey. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Let me try that again. See that I hate when I go live because then things slip out. But this could be Aubrey. This could be anyone. Yeah. But this person is not going to be allowed to hide behind a Jane or John Doe. And I'm telling you right now, Aubrey is in Stop it, Pascal. Victim number 5 will have to be exposed. That person has no choice but to be out here. According to the documents obtained by TMZ, the feds appear to be introducing this potential witness as evidence Diddy committed an act of misconduct in the past, which he's not being charged for in this criminal case. So this person's coming in to talk, but it's not like it's something that, but they're not coming in to talk about a crime that he is on trial for, which is interesting. Okay. But some sort of misconduct happened between Diddy and Aubrey. Damn it. This victim number 5. I got to stop saying Aubrey. Okay. My bad. So Diddy's legal team tried to keep this alleged victim story out of the trial. But the judge is willing to allow at least some of the testimony. So what are they going to say? We went out, we had a really great date, and that's it? Or are we going to get all of it? Because you can't tell me that at least some of the testimony. Where do you cut it? What's the cutoff point? Right? This particular person comes up and what? I swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, I do. They sit down and they just say, yes, he's an absolute monster. Prosecution rests. What? That's it? So I hope we're going to get some, more than just some. What's the cutoff point? I wonder if the judge has said what the cutoff point is. So at least as for the other 4 alleged victims, Cassie has been long established as victim 1. Duh. If you've been reading any of the paperwork, any of the legal documents, she most definitely is victim 1. Okay. And she has now been seen out there in New York, pregnant as hell, about to pop. Okay. And congratulations to her and her husband. But at the same time, she is very pregnant. But she going to take this man down with her testimony. I'll tell you what. So there are concerns. Victim number 3 might not even show up in court to testify despite a subpoena. Yeah, because $5 million is a lot of money. Just saying. In court filings, prosecutors have said victim number 2 is expected to deliver anonymous testimony about financial losses, dependency, and social isolation she experienced during their relationship, all of which made her more vulnerable to his coercion. The feds also say they have a 4th alleged victim, a former Diddy employee who was allegedly coerced into sexual acts. Now, I have a feeling it's the fella with the light eyes. That's or it's why am I forgetting his name? The producer guy. Why am I forgetting the producer's guy's name? Damn it. Yeah, it could be the chef. It could be the chef, but it could also be one of his assistants that was allegedly made to engage in these acts with him. Lil Rod. I was like, there's a double entendre with his name, with his stage name. Yeah, Lil Rod. Okay, Lil Rod, indeed. There's a double, now with the Lil Rod and then freak offs and all that. Okay, just you connect the dots, guys. Just I don't have to do all the work for you. But as you guys can see here, Diddy is in some serious trouble because, trust me, you think that there's only, they stop at victim number 5? Stop. Prosecutors are going to be coming in with all kinds of people. There's more than just 5 victims that are willing to step forward and speak. You got Lil Rod, you got Phil Pines, you got, I saw the names in the chat. Thank you so much for the reminders. You got potentially Aubrey O'Day. You got other girlfriends, Gina. I forgot her last name, but that was in that interview with Tasha K. There are so many names, guys. There are so many names and so many filings and so many lawsuits and so many people that have been victim to this man right here, allegedly, of course, that they can have this trial go on forever. You got to remember, there's a lot of lawsuits that have come out from people that worked closely with him, from chefs to assistants to producers, and then some. Yeah, Dawn Richard. Let's not forget her too. Roger Bonds. Okay. There's a lot of people that have spoken out. Shoot. So many. Okay. Christine, Diddy is basically done. But here's the thing. In the court of public opinion, we believe he's done for the most part. We still have people who are out here defending him, saying, oh, he was such a good guy. And he's, they're trying to take this man down. It's not right, blah, 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 right? There's a lot of people that are sitting there saying that. It's not as loud as the others that believe Diddy is done. But here's the thing. I want you to remember this. When it comes to Diddy's situation, he only needs one person. Let me repeat. He only needs one juror to lean on his side. This is the reason why the jury selection is so crucial. Because again, you want unbiased individuals in there. It doesn't matter if they're saying that they are pro Diddy or against Diddy. You can't have either of those two in the jury. You need people who are unbiased, that are going to listen to this trial and listen to both sides of this argument with open ears and an open mind and have a clean slate on bias. That's what is the thing. So that they can come up with their own conclusion, get into a room to delegate or to deliberate with their fellow jurors and come to a verdict. But you can't have a fair trial if you have jurors that already have an opinion before they even start opening statements. But here's the problem. Having a person like Diddy, huge name, who's had music and has influence for decades, an image for a lot of people, whether you listen to hip hop or not. You know exactly who he is because he's been a part of the zeitgeist, part of pop culture for the longest of times. This is going to be a very hard thing for them to do, is finding an unbiased jury. They'd have to find people that literally do not watch TV, have not read a magazine, or even opened up their phones to the internet ever in their lives. Everyone knows who the hell this man is. Everyone. He's one of the most famous faces and one of the most famous names in the world. It's going to be very hard for anyone to sit there and go, yeah, I don't know who he is. No, I haven't seen the video. No, I don't know anything about, oh my gosh, he got arrested? Well, who's this man? Really? Sorry. Very recognizable name, very recognizable brand, very recognizable music. He's been part of history for decades, y'all. So like I said, this isn't like Smokey Robinson. Okay? Yes, we're talking about Smokey Robinson for a second. Think about this. Who this light-skinned, light-eyed man? There's some people that are going to literally say that. If that ever is to see the inside of a courtroom, which, it could possibly be a shakedown for Smokey. But again, there are going to be people out there that are not going to know who he is. They might know a song or two, but they're not going to sit there and say, yes, I rock to all his music. No. They just might know Tracks of My Tears or I Second That Emotion or something like that. And that's about it. But they're not going to sit there and know everything about the guy. So when you look at something like this, Diddy's name is up there with synonymous to a lot of powerful, successful people. So it will be interesting to see how this all goes down. But right now, it's looking quite messy. Now, this is interesting. I'll be sure. Let's take a look.
Our next guest was a New Jack Swing superstar in the 80s. Now, Al B. Sure is using his second chance at life to fight for health equity.
After surviving a coma and liver transplant, he's an advocate pushing for real healthcare change. He's also exposing shocking truths about the music industry and recording artist Diddy in his upcoming tell-all, Do You Believe Me Now? It comes out this fall. I'll be sure, though, is joining us.
Can we hear that one more time?
Shocking truths about the music industry and recording artist Diddy in his upcoming tell-all, Do You Believe Me Now? It comes out this fall. I'll be sure, though, is joining us this morning. Good to see you.
So good to see you.
You look
as well.
good. You feeling good?
I am so blessed. We woke up this morning. We don't call it a comeback like LL says, right? This is updating my software. And I'm truly grateful to be here. And Roseanne.
Al, the last time you were here, you could barely walk up the step to sit down here. Barely.
You were my first interview with Cristal, right?
Yes.
When I was released from the hospital, and it was just, what an amazing journey it's been. You know, I figured, look, when you get lemons, make Arnold Palmer.
So what?
Now here's the thing. If you guys don't know anything about Al B. Sure, of course, there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of theories and all that about him falling ill. He randomly out of nowhere fell ill. He was in a coma. All organs were shutting down. I mean, he was in bad shape. And then he miraculously bounced back. There's been a theory and a rumor basically saying that Diddy has something to do with getting him sick because because Al B. Sure did not like how Diddy was treating Kim Porter back in the day. Now, if you don't know who Kim Porter is, Kim Porter was the wife of Diddy. They have children together. Basically, she allegedly wrote this. This is it feels like we're going all the way back. But she wrote a tell-all book, or more like it was a journal, a diary that ended up turning into a book. And long story short, there are just a lot of allegations that were said in this book that she was writing right before she passed. And she fell ill out of nowhere and then passed away. Okay? So Al B. Sure, since Diddy's been arrested, has been going on interviews and all, basically saying that Diddy did something to her and he did something to me. And of course, now he has a book. Now he has a book that's coming out called, if I remember correctly, Do You Believe Me Now? That's the book. All right. And this interview just came out. I'm not going to play this whole thing. I might have to do this in a separate video here in a little while. But the diggity damn, okay. He was never married. Oh, what? I thought they were. I may have that wrong. But they have children together, Diddy and Kim Porter for sure. Okay. But yeah. Anyway, this is very interesting. All right.
What are you doing now? How are you getting the word out?
Well, you know, it's been an amazing journey. I get the call from my co-founder, Ms. Rachel Nordlinger. We started the Health Equity and Transplantation Coalition, and we are advocating in Congress, fighting for equal access to quality health care, just focused. And my focus, obviously, you know, standing in Congress and speaking in front of Congress, I've made it very clear. I am not here for the politics. I'm not here for the next election. I'm simply here to save lives of transplant patients. So, you know, so there's a focus there. We've had some success in Congress related to having people come across the aisle, because I made that clear. So this is a real life mission. There's no marketing in my life. Roseanne, this is the best time of my life.
You look good.
This is not, you know, there's no hustle, there's no marketing, I'm living my truth, and it's time.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah,
60.
Right. Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah,
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, you know, just mysteriously out of the blue, you know, which we do talk about in the book.
Yes,
what that,
I want to get into that.
What that process is. But yeah, so it's been quite a journey. And as I said, you know, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking, really? What's wrong with you? No way, but not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting, I get calls, take it down or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Diddy. Who's about?
Yeah, obviously this is about the diddler. Let's keep it real, okay? But apparently he was saying a bunch of things, and my bad, it was Kim Porter and Diddy were just in an on and off again relationship. I apologize. Like I said, you cover this, and then certain pieces of information just slips through the cracks. So I apologize for that. But they were in a relationship on and off again, Diddy and Kim Porter. But she fell ill out of nowhere as well. Al B. Shore was putting out information, which we have known about, how he was putting out information trying to expose how bad Diddy was. And then he fell ill out of nowhere, went into a coma and all that. So let me continue a little bit more. We're not going to play the whole thing, but just a little taste. But clearly, he's not only here to promote his book. They brought him on the show because they want to hear him talk about the Diddy stuff. Come on. Sure, you can come up and talk about your book, but we want you to talk about that Diddy stuff. We can wrap it up in a nice little bow and promote your book for sure. But at the same time, you better talk about that Diddy. That's what they're hoping for, and this is exactly what they're getting now, because this is a hot topic, right?
About to, his trial's about to start. Yeah,
yes.
They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed because, and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate in so and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross and what's most relevant. It's something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage and in many, many ways. Many people's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in is ruined right now.
Absolutely. Let's think about all the music that he had some sort of influence in. Diddy helped cultivate R&B, rap to a whole other level, helped make hip hop and R&B become more of a part of pop culture, right? That is a massive deal. And yeah, I agree with him 100%. A lot of the music, we can't even look at that music the same way. It's the same thing as like R. Kelly. Okay. It's like any other person or any other movie that you really loved. If you're watching some Kevin Spacey movie, you're going, oh, damn. Like, I used to like this movie, but I can't like it no more. Man, I used to love Braveheart, but I can't really rock with Mel Gibson no more. Can't even enjoy that movie anymore. You see what I'm saying? There's just certain things I've said this a million times, as soon as you hear step in the name of love, everyone's like, yeah. And then they suddenly think about that video that was on LimeWire. And you're like, oh, damn, I can't even dance to this song anymore. I can't even separate my brain from that and this. And it's gonna be the same thing for Diddy here. Seriously. All the songs that you love. Pascal Cavassier, you're like, yeah. And you're like, oh. You see what I'm saying? So again, yeah, Chris Brown. I mean, there's a bunch of people. A bunch of people. So yeah, it's all bad. It is all bad. And this is just gonna be crazy. But then the other thing is too, I'm kind of wondering why. Hold on. I am kind of curious though. Does Albie Shore? Hold on, let me see something. Does Albie Shore? I don't think he lives in New York now, does he? Okay, so he currently lives in northern New Jersey, allegedly. But this is Good Day New York. So I'm wondering, why is he in New York? Uh-oh. I'm quite curious about this. Hold on. Well, let's see. I am quite curious. Right now, I don't see anything about him possibly testifying, but he may be testifying. Why would he be in New York? Now, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that he is not normal for somebody like, a celebrity, for a celebrity not to be in New York. And then also at the same time, him living in New Jersey, it really, I mean, shoot, you can jump on a train, for crying out loud, and get into New York. It's very, very close. So again, it's a highway away type thing. So it's not like he wouldn't be in New York. But it is interesting that he is in New York at the same time that this whole Diddy thing is going on. So it does make you wonder, is he going to be one of those people that comes in and testifies against the diddler? Because we already know that Cassie's in town, because she's probably going to be one of the first people to testify starting Monday. If they get everything done, if they get everything figured out for the jury, and they swear that jury in, they're going to do their opening statements, and then they're going to start doing, they're going to start having people come in, witnesses and people come in to testify. So from my understanding, Cassie's going to be first numero uno on the list come Monday. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's coming in as another star witness. That's very possible. What he went through, if the legends are true, if the urban legends are true, is terrible. So, and scary. And it can also show how dangerous of a man Diddy really is. So hopefully they got proof. And if he is being brought in, he most definitely is a victim, y'all. He most definitely is a victim. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. But of course, just interesting that he's, it's not like he's in Good Day, LA. He's in New York. It just seems a bit convenient. But like I said, I guess it's not too far-fetched for him to show up in New York as a celebrity, as a name, that kind of thing. So that'll be very, very, very interesting, to say the least. Hold on, guys. I'm looking something up here real quick. And that also makes you wonder how many other names could possibly be brought in that are going to be a part of this trial, not just because they were mentioned, because they were threatened, or, but actually like had some sort of interaction with Diddy, and they are willingly coming in to testify against the man. You see what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting when that does happen. Okay. Parker, I agree 100%. The defense's swinger excuse is absolute BS. Okay. You don't need to attack someone and drag them down the hallway back to the room if it's consensual. Absolutely. They'd be skipping right behind you, going, let's go and party. Right. They'd be willingly walking in there, not like fighting tooth and nail, trying to get away, trying to sneak out that mug, right? That's just crazy. Carmenize, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Would Kim not have been involved in Diddy's life when this Rico mess started? That's a good question. Albie probably saw/heard a lot of sharing. Ooh. Oh, sharing a child. Yeah, a lot. Sharing a child with her. At first, I was like, sharing a child with her? What? But now I get what you're saying. And of course, don't forget to smash that like, guys. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a very good point. Maybe he knows some things that Kim confided in him about. That is very possible. That is very possible. I mean, of course, especially when you are co-parenting, you're going to hear a lot of stuff. You kind of end up kind of being the third, that fly on the wall. So it could be possible that he knows some things beyond just what he has told us at the surface. So again, this is going to be interesting, guys. This is going to be all going to be very, very interesting for sure. But guys, I mean, this is what we have so far. Of course, I'll be, talking with you guys about more stuff. Of course, I have another video that just dropped a little bit ago. Go check it out. And has everything to do with the Cassie part of things, because she will most likely be in the first day or two coming out and talking and testifying. Here's the other thing, though. If they don't have everything figured out by Monday with the jury, we already know that this is a mess. But this is already a mess. It doesn't help the situation anymore. And they definitely need to make sure that these people are absolutely unbiased, or this whole entire trial is for nothing. Just something to think about. But anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, make sure you follow. Hit that follow button. Subscribe here. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well. Okay? Thank you, Sabrina. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're almost at 161. It's going to be wild. It's wild that we're in the 60s. So I appreciate the support. Okay? Hit that notification bell so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload for both channels. Hit that join button down below, become a member. Check out my Patreon, check out my locals, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Okay? Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Told you guys it'll be a short one, but I'll probably be back on a little bit later on this evening to talk about more stuff with you guys. So I'll see you guys then. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.